Hello everyone, my name is the Mad Scorpion and welcome to another This Week in Destiny update for the week of March the 6th. Now, for once now with Heresy, we actually have a This Week in Destiny that we actually have info regarding future updates and not just recaps of what happened before. Unfortunately, we do have to start with a bit of recap, but there is a little bit more explained than what was detailed, and that is regarding the dev stream of Heresy Act 2 and parts of Act 3. So, just to really quick recap it, Court of Blades is the new activity. Think Court of Oryx, but updated and a little bit of tinge of Onslaught. We're going to be getting new weapons featured with the next act, and that is an Arc Sidearm, Void Bow. It seems to be a Strand SMG. I can't exactly tell if that's colors white or green or what, but Void Fusion Rifle as well as a Strand Glaive. And I'm going to just say, even if I don't use the Glaive, that jagged teeth design on the blade looks absolutely gnarly. But next, we do have artifact perks, which to summarize, Overload Trace Rifle, killing heals you and allies, you get more elemental pickups, you deal more damage to matching elemental debuffs, and if you have a matching elemental buff or critically damage, your super does more energy. Just to sum it all up. Of course, there is the full details and listed there. But then there is the look ahead, and just to cover it, the Rite of the Nine, think that's Pantheon, but dungeon themed, featuring Prophecy, Spire of the Watcher, and Ghost of the Deep. Also featuring updated and refreshed and limited edition versions of weapons from each of the activities. The Sunless Cell in Act 3 is coming back from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, of course reworked, because, you know, we can't exactly have Alakul the Dark Blade when Alakul the Light Blade is still currently alive and trancing about. As well as the new fun chaotic PvP mode that will be heavy metal, which if you didn't see the preview is going to be tanks, aka Drakes, versus Briggs, and they will be playable Briggs. So we're going to be going into that and hopefully having some fun with that new feature. But then there is, of course, Guardian Games coming up that'll be launching with the start of Act 2, which, just to give it a brief synopsis, there is Rushdown, which think of it kind of like Pantheon, but a little bit more casually. As they describe it, you'll battle a series of bosses taken from Destiny campaigns, seasonal story missions, as well as exotic missions. With each boss encounter defeated, combatants in the difficulty will increase in... combatants in the activity will increase in difficulty. With 5 total encounters per run, you'll have a time limit to complete the run, with time added for each successful completion. Completing encounters that run will earn you rewards, the faster times offering a chance for more drops or higher quality loot. So it actually sounds quite interesting, because it will be revisiting possibly some bosses that either vaulted, or just you generally don't see in the random rotation, because oftentimes they're a one and done deal. So that actually sounds quite nifty. There will be 3 ways to play Rushdown, with the warm-up mode, which will be the entry point of the activity, standard, and expert, then ramp up the difficulty, adding more powerful combatants with modifiers and adding revive tokens to the mix. Each mode will offer options for standard matchmaking, class-based, and private fire team. And that is pretty much how they go about it and describing it. There is, of course, the usual Guardian Game spiel, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, score thresholds, and everything else. But that is kind of how it's been for the past year of Guardian Games, period. The details in the activity is where it's different. Then, per the usual, there is the usual Guardian Game stuff with classes. There will be one for being best in tower for highest score. You know, whoever wins the class gets a thing of the day. Shoulder glow to weekly performance in the activity. How you do in Supremacy and Gambit. Bronze, silver, gold, based on the Laurel Crown, based on how your class placed. Aside from that, it's the usual bits of Guardian Games, as well as some returning stuff, including the Skimmer from last year, which was the introduction of the Skimmer, if I remember. So if you didn't feel like paying for the Skimmer, of course, there is going to be one that you can earn for free just by hopefully being a little bit participating in the event. But completing the drop-in quest will allow you to add a permanent one. Yeah, that's what they mentioned. You'll also have a free one during the event. There will be also the Fizzled Guardian Games Memento earned this year. You have a chance to earn more by banking gold, platinum, and diamond medallions. With the weapons featured in this event, featuring a brand new Arc Trace Rifle, which they did mention, it's coming with a lot of the good ones: Jolting Feedback, Recycled Energy, Rolling Storm. Lots of the good perks make it worth possibly acquiring, not to mention Origin traits being just a generally good one for bonus class ability energy. Then there is the usual of, I believe they mentioned Traxopose, the Strand Scout Rifle, the title, the Void SMG, that does feature Repulse or Destabilize, as well as the Hullabaloo Grenade Launcher for the ad clearers out there. Now this is a full look of the new armor set. Now I have mentioned in the dev stream that while it was sports themed in the past, a lot of it like Summer Olympics, this is a lot more Guardian, Gladiator themed, which I can definitely see that with the Titan and the very good looking Titan set, or Lion set, but at the same time the Hunters are just kind of present, because the only bit that really shows their theme is the snakes wrapped around their arms. Everything else is just kind of gold embroidered, and the same thing with the warlocks, because even though there is a bit of a feather kind of scale armor there, a little bit of feathers on the shoulders, and a bird-based helmet, that's kind of the midway. Literally, I'm going Titan, then Warlock, then Hunter if I have to buy preferences. Then there is, of course, like I mentioned before, or not that I mentioned, but there is the usual returning of the title that comes with it, extra event cards you can buy if you want, as well in terms of real-life stuff. There is this nice Guardian Games jersey you can buy. It kind of looks a little bit not, how do I say this? It looks a little blinding in terms of its color palette. But then there is going to be Rushdown Roulette, which will be another event that is more focused on the creators across various countries and teams. There'll be, it's just another one of those things that there'll be a lot of content creators participating from different sections of the world. So in case you wanted to follow along, these are the team members throughout the North America, the UK, France, Germany, I'm not sure what is precisely. That's just me. I don't think it's Australia. But then Japan, Spain, the Nordics, Poland, Benelux, however that is, Italy, Latam, Brazil, and the Middle East, featuring all the various creators shown there, representing each class. Then, as well, there will be benefits, giveaways, and that sort of thing in case you wish to participate. Now, here is one of the new things, is per the usual, a Crucible Strike Team update, which I will kind of go through as brief as I can, but this is some of the new stuff. So apparently, Redrix Estoc reward and focusing fix, basically they had an issue at the start where you'd only get one when you ran through the placement series, but then also didn't get any more, so you should hopefully be able to get more in the future. In addition to the fixes of the placement series, you'll also be fixing the issue for players when unable to focus previous competitive rewards at Shacks. With Redrix's Estoc tuning, they also are tuning sword logic damage against players in PvP. This will not affect its PvE efficacy, but however, reduce base damage for bonus kills against players from 20 to 15, and kills against players in Super from 35 to 50%. Oh, damage bonus for... Oh, they increased that. Okay, so that makes sense. As mentioned before, we'll be adding this perk to more weapons in the future, so we needed to be in line with other damage perk options in the PvP sandbox. Perks in Crucible, we generally cap damage effects that trigger off of a single weapon kill, with no additional action required at 15%, for example, Master of Arms and Golden Tricorn. And more on that and the reasons why they changed it. Now, walking back some of the buffs that Lightweight Pulse Rifles received in 0.5.3, body shot damage reduced by mathing, 0.7 damage, and critically hit against damage reduced by 0.5. Note this is a damage increase over their values pre that update, but basically they buffed it, they're tuning it back, but it should be better than it was before in total. They also reduced the handling stat on Redrix's Estoc from 79 to 74, and blah blah blah. And they also did some changes with the latest update that tweaked the solo fireteam loss forgiveness, kind of. There's more details on that in case you care about it. Now on the Prowl and Smoke Crucible tuning, Smoke debuff no longer reduces player movement speed or jump height, and no longer reduces player weapon handling, and as well no longer suppresses player movement abilities. However, on the Prowl, hunted players no longer have pink glow in the first person perspective, and reduce the glow intensity of hunters in the third person. Basically, it was just oppressive. Now, I guess trials this weekend will feature the Keen Thistle Sniper Rifle, which personally I would like it for PvE, but that's just because it's a Hake sniper rifle and always been a bit more of a fan of that. Now, on February 13th, they shared with us all an important update regarding account linking on Bungie.net. We support the link of multiple authentication methods to a single Bungie.net profile. We continue allowing linking in this manner. The upcoming update will remove the option to unlink an account once it's been linked to your Bungie ID. The only exception will be Twitch. You still have many weeks left before we review and implement the new policy. The goal remains the same: protect the integrity of our players' accounts, simplify certain security systems, prevent fraud, and limit activities that go against our terms of service. We also have another reminder before this goes live. Basically, if you want to remove any links, you have time before you are no longer able to remove the links. Now, Moments of Triumph Bungie Store sale, celebrating Moments of Triumph this year. There is a sale this past Tuesday, kicked off the triumphant slash words. There's a sale in the store that will be offering deals on items through March 11th. Whether you're in the market for Ace of Spades, participate, flat rate shipping, basically there's just a sale. There is flat rate shipping, no increased markdowns, including some nifty things. And if you buy anything during Moments of Triumph, you can get this emblem for free. Now there is the fashion fee. Bungie, come on. I know of all the things you show, this is something that is spoiler-ish free, but man, we need info on Codename Frontiers. You just keep showing us items in the Eververse. You are only proving my point. Regardless, another ornament, which I believe these are for Worm God's Caress, if I think. Yep, Worm God's Caress. So it's getting another ornament that makes it look more like standard armor, although I think the original actually looks better compared to Verity's Brow that they talked about last time. Now, for Heresy Fashion, here is some, I assume, featured things. As well, there is Emerald City Comic-Con Guardian Gathering, I guess a team meetup on Sunday, March 9th. Invited to Overlook 5 Overlook Level 5, Seattle Convention Center for Destiny 2 fan meetup. More details will be there. Basically, just show up and turn out if you wish to. Now, the important part of the TWIDs is always a player support report. Basically, a daylight savings time is coming up starting March 9th. The Destiny 2 daily reset in weekly time will change from 9 a.m. Pacific to 10 a.m. Pacific. For more information about reset rituals, visit the reset guide. Now, account recovery, services, and cheating. I'm just going to read this in full, just in case. The goal of Bungie's product security team is to protect players from those who would tend to cause harm to the player base or the game, such as cheating or account recovery services. For many years, we've seen those services steal and sell player accounts without the player's permission. Such services can also harvest and sell other personal information or financial information they come across. There's a clear relationship between boosting services and cheating. Boosting services frequently resort to cheats to churn through as many customers as fast as possible, which can put a player's account in risk of ban. This service will then sell the account credentials to other bad actors and cheaters. Additionally, these services usually add an account they own to a player's cross-save setup, allowing them to have full access to your account. These services can often use this to threaten a player's characters and in-game items. These now linked accounts cannot be removed, which usually leads to players losing all their progress and characters. We understand the desire to compete high-end PvE content or get that new Trials weapon. However, when using these services, they ruin the experience for other players, provide accounts for other cheaters to use, and will result in your account getting banned. Ultimately, services that come across or compromise the integrity of the game should not be trusted with a player's account and personal information. We remind you again to protect your accounts. Do not use account recovery, boosting, or cheating services. Saying that your fingers were not on the keyboard when the cheating occurred does not help your argument. The loss of your Bungie and Destiny 2 account due to bad behavior by an untrustworthy source is only one small way that you can be burned. For more information regarding the ban policies, visit the Destiny account restrictions and banning policies. Now, aside from that, known issues. When speaking to a vendor, you can hear ambient dialogue. Ionic Sentry sometimes doesn't chain lightning enemies. I assume a chain lightning to enemies. Steps 6 and 9 of the Drowning Labyrinth quest are not completed by some players. Due to the quest being fixed between character scoped and account scoped, if you have an alternate character and make progress on the quest, you need to play on that character to get back in the correct research paper level for your main character. Extra charges for Radiant Dance Machines do not persist when transitioning to a new area. A Triumph in Guardian Rank 10 does not unlock when completing a Grandmaster. The Iron Banner weekly challenges reference stasis when it should be Strand. Sometimes in the derealized exotic mission, the Taken Relic can drop below the surface during the Fearsick encounter. Damaging the Shrieker boss in Sunder Doctrine gives critical feedback when it's actually normal feedback. When tracking Ikora's Drowning Labyrinth quest, completion of certain steps may stop progress on the next steps. Sometimes the Tome of Want a primer quest does not progress after meeting step 3 and 4 requirements. Memento shaders can be previewed on armor, not intended, they won't be added to armor, so stop hoping for that, unfortunately. Now, with that, there is the Art of the Week, with the Final Shape Cat, as well as a Movie of the Week, which is just us beating the heck out of Rolk. But aside from that, that is the end of this week in Destiny. Finally, they had something for us to talk about, other than just recapping stuff that, if you paid attention, you would know. But with that, I am going to leave it there. Overall, I'd say good this week in Destiny. Basically, just a heads up about what's coming. Expounding upon the dev stream is something good. When the dev stream just says, oh, we're getting the Sunless Cell, or oh, we're getting the Court of Blades, and giving a brief detail. I mean, same thing with Guardian Games. Guardian Games has said, oh yeah, Guardian Games is coming back. There will be an Arc Trace, and there will be a Boss Rush mode, but they left it at that, and this included way more details regarding Boss Rush and Guardian Games as a whole than the entirety of the dev stream. So it's good when This Week in Destiny can actually assist Bungie in explaining some of their things. And of course, covering some of the other stuff, PvP tuning, I guess it's good because I guess I don't touch PvP. I guess Smoke Bombs and Redrix's Estoc were oppressive in the Crucible. As well, Keen Thistle this weekend, basically how to keep your account safe. There is a sale in the store, as well as Fashion Picks, Emerald City Comic Con meetup, as well as the usual player support report. But from that end, this is the end of This Week in Destiny update. My name is the Mad Scorpion. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.